Hi there and welcome back to Torment Tides of Numenera, my friends. Welcome to exploring the bloom and, oh, we can level up Calistique. Let's do that. What does she need most? An ability or skill would be nice. Let's see which one. Could be good. I mean, we have a flash. Entropic field. We could level. We have machinery law. She's good at law machinery, as few are, and law mystical she's already full. Wow, we want a skill. No. We can go for perception, deception, cipher use, law natural. No, we don't want that. We could increase the edge on the intellect. Or stat pools we've already increased. Already specialized in transdimensional onslaught. We could go flash or entropic field. Really, we would like to go for exploration skills. Perception could be good. Deception and cipher use, we don't want a skill with her, really. Natural law we have already. At least perception, but we don't need. How about some extra effort? Or increasing the edge, maybe on a speed task, that could be good. Or maybe even more on intellect, yeah, let's sharpen her intellect like a madman. Let's hope that it works well. And now let's speak to the Sundermens. Sundermen the younger and Sundermen the elder. Talk to the younger again. First. Sundermen the younger. This friendly looking youth is dipping strips of cured bloom flesh into colored dye. He looks up as you approach, revealing startling yellow eyes. Hello, ma'am. Are you interested in our wares? They are handcrafted and one of a kind. What sort of work are you doing? I'm Sundermen's apprentice. That means I do whatever he tells me, really. Mostly harvesting usable bloom flesh. It's always an adventure, flesh harvesting. But my elder tells me I'll be going away on a bigger adventure soon. He grins cheerfully. Can't wait. So he's gonna be devoured by the bloom or what? What do you sell here? You'll probably be interested in the specialty items and armor we craft from bloom flesh, but we also say everyday stuff like clothes and building supplies. Everybody buys from us, even those shivers, those murdens. Talk to my elder if you want to buy anything. Okay. Seems like you know the bloom pretty well. Are there any moors nearby? I know of one for sure, in Chirurgen Slump. Been there a really long time. I hear there's one in the old slave block too, but I don't go in there because of the murders, so I can't be sure. I'm interested in your wares, you know. Great, you should talk to my elder. He handles the actual trading. And isn't it dangerous to harvest bloom flesh? Not really. People only fear the bloom when they don't understand it. Puffs up his chest. I've lived here all my life and nothing's ever happened to me. Wow, that's great, yeah. Oh, but it will, youngster, chuckles the old merchant who stands beside the apprentice. It will. The younger man laughs uncomfortably. You keep saying that, but you won't say when. If I did, says the older man, you might try to avoid it. And thoughts, I know I would, if only to see what happens. Right. Talk to the elder then. Near a display of goods that all appear to be made of bloom flesh, either tanned, beaten, carved, or cured, stands an old man who looks fairly tanned, beaten, carved, and cured himself. He also has startling yellow eyes, just like his apprentice. "Hello," he exclaims, admiring my stock. "You won't find anything else like it. Not even here in the bloom. All handcrafted and one of a kind." I've got some questions first. Who wouldn't, when confronted with such unusual merchandise? Ask away. I couldn't help but notice that you and your apprentice look very much alike. Well spotted, he grins widely, a twinkle in his eye. "And why would you speculate that is, madam?" And thoughts, I love telling this story, she'll never guess. Your features are nearly identical, as if you're the same person. Ha! Well done! He claps you on the back. Not many people manage to figure that one out. Let me tell you what happened, or will happen if you like. Can thoughts. Actually, that Ian priest in the slump saw it too. Is it somehow more obvious than it used to be? One day, soon, my younger self will be walking along when the bloom will open a maw beneath him, and he'll tumble into the other world, years in the past, or maybe the journey to the past will be when he tries to come back. Whatever the case, it will take him many decades and worlds to travel back here. Smiles wistfully. I envy him the experiences he will have, but thank him for the memories. Oh man, that's a strange story. But okay. Doesn't knowing what will happen change the future? He frowns, puzzled. Why? I knew what was coming, but it hasn't changed my past. Okay, yeah, it seems so. It sounds like a dangerous journey. Shouldn't you warn yourself? I did, but I didn't listen. Smiles affectionately at his younger self. Besides, when I think about all the stories I've filled my head with, it's hard to remember exactly what I said about when the big day is. He leans in close and whispers, but it's coming soon. Alright, I got more questions. Go right ahead. Can I ask you about that cyst at the edge of the platform? He regards you with a squint. Whatever was in there was probably pretty dangerous, and now it's out, thanks to a certain someone who thought they knew better than the bloom. Okay. Well, it looked like an alien, right? Area 51, it ran there. Tell me of some of those memories or experiences you had and will have. He looks over at his younger self, who is assiduously not listening. He laughs a little and speaks softly. My first journey was to a desert world where the natives looked like humanoid spiders. It's the best way I know to describe them. They spoke with their minds, and a combination of colors that danced between their fingers. It was difficult to get them to understand me, but we managed to find a way. I'm lucky they didn't eat me. When I'd gained their trust, I worked with them as a guide and hunter. I'd flush their prey, and they'd snare it with great chemical lattices. But one was always looking at me, like he wanted to get a taste of me. And one day he made a move. I ran, and found the bloom's maw still open. But time bent, and I came back in the past. Looks at his young self. The one you want to watch for is Isgilvloridil. Aha. Tell me more about your adventures. Well, when I got back to our world, I didn't know it was the past, right? But no one I knew was alive yet. I went home and met my parents at the age my young self is now. I realized I needed to light out and get my feet under me, because I've never been enough of an idiot to ignore good advice from my older self. He and his younger self laugh at this. Set my heart on reaching the steadfast. I came on her, she was... Wait, why'd you stop talking?
I'll remember that.
Sundermen laughs ruefully, because I remember how frustrated I was. The old man wouldn't tell me about the beautiful woman he met. But let me tell you this, she was tall and dark, with eyes that dropped away into eternity. Her voice was the sweetest music, and when she spoke I had to concentrate to get her meaning. because otherwise I'd drift away on the song. The form was a delight, and we shared a time that, he breaks off again, blushing, the best time of my life. Tell me more. Sounds fruity. Not boring your ears of yet, eh? Fine, we spent glorious years together, she and I, but as the time went on, I aged, and she stayed radiant. She was an augur, see, long-lived and wise. Eventually I told her I had to return to the bloom to teach myself how to live, and that it'd be years before I could make it back to her, and I'd be old when I got back. She didn't care, she said. She'd find a way to make me young again, and to grant me a span her kind takes for granted. When the boy here heads off on our adventure, why, then I'll go west again and find her. Let me talk about that cyst thing again. The one you opened, allowing that horrible creature to escape. No, I'd rather not even think about it. Okay. What exactly do you sell here? Bloomflesh, my friend, bloomflesh. We craft everything out of it. Clothing, armor, building materials, jerky, you name it. The bloom cultists in particular love wrapping themselves in bloomflesh, but everyone buys from us, even the murders. You might say our business is blooming. He raises his eyebrows at you expectantly. Ha, his apprentice laughs. Good one, Sundermen. Thanks, Sundermen. It's the older merchant. I liked it myself when I first heard it. So, the bloom cultist, what do you think about them? Got some odd notions, those folk. They worship the bloom as a deity and aren't afraid of being eaten. He shrugs. Crazy, of course. But they're my best customers, so I just smile and nod when they natter on about it. And the Murdens? Sundermen grimaces. Those hunchbacked beak faces will steal anything they can get their claws on. We sell clothes to them, and because of that they mostly let us be. I trust them as far as I can throw them, and I advise you to do likewise. More of your adventures, please, if you have. He laughs. That's all the stories I can tell you. Right about here is where I tell you that I need to save some surprises for my young self. He laughs again. Sometimes this time stream seems to make things especially easy. Okay, let me see what you have for sale. Got a bloom flesh armor. What? Exceptional armor. At the start of each turn, a tentacle latches onto a nearby enemy, does 6 trans-dimensional damage to the target, heals 6 points of health on the wearer. That thing seems crazy. -3 to might and speed. We don't really need might and speed, right? What is that? The Bloom Bone Shard. 3 physical, 4 chemical damage, 3 damage per effort applied, max plus 15. Light weapon. Bonus. Okay, that's a speed weapon. And critical hits confer control. Active 1 round. This thing, a blood globe. It's 24 mental damage and confers demoralized to all characters in range of the target point. Active entire crisis. Find Fleetfoot Moss, hit speed, and Metabolism Flesh Bud, 1 speed edge, 1 damage per effort applied, max 6 on esoteric attacks. I mean, that bloom flesh armor, that isn't too bad. My intellect pool isn't like the best. Minus 15% on esoteric attacks. That's the bad thing about it, right? But the rest... the rest is pretty crazy. And we've got ciphers with us. The ring. That thing. The servant's slip knot. Savant's slip knot. Okay, we can use that later, okay. We don't have to destroy that. Scriptures of the Great Devourer. I don't know if we need them. I mean, I think we don't, but... let's just sell a couple of things. Jelly. The Ancient Spirit Cube. Maybe we can use that spell. The Beads of Mother Temaz. The Viscera Sprig. Let's sell our oddities. Ooh. Healing Sword. 8 physical damage. It's pretty great. The weapons. The odd gloves. Brood's ears. The Father Tiller. Strange War Mask. It's just too much. I think we've read through all of this. Axe is not that good. That thing as well. Heavenly Submission. I don't want to sell that. We've got good money right now. Artifact. Bonded item artifact. We have even eyes, 1 training level in perception, and this thing the same. -1 in... yeah, it's absolutely the same. Alright, I mean, we'll buy that armor, I guess. It seems to be a good idea somehow. Even though it will reduce our pool crazy. With the tentacle latches, that makes us basically a tank. We'll try that out. I mean, it's... fashioned from the flesh of the bloom, this armor is very much alive. It is perhaps the elder Sundermen's masterwork. Thick flesh offers excellent physical protection, while its trans-dimensional nature protects the wearer against more exotic attacks. The center of the chest is a tiny maw, though you're not sure where it leads. The living flesh is tough and resistant to manipulation, making the armor difficult to put on. However, once it is worn for a time, it shapes itself to your form, becoming as familiar as your own skin. The sensation is comforting, even if the notion is not. But we don't want to fight, so we'll leave it be. But it's indeed very, very tempting. Ioxus. Oh man! We could go back. We should go back to Little Niliesh. Or to Ioxu, because we've seen something from him. Yeah, I remember now. It was that strange guy here. Maybe we can talk to him again. You return, what is your pleasure? Have need of your wares, maybe. Also bobs his head submissively. What I have is this. Let's see. Whispers. No, entropic engine. Speed weapon. What is this? Cloak of faces. That's 15% on deception, 5% on intimidation, and 5% on persuasion. 15% evasion and 15% willpower. What a cloak! Wow, I mean, that will help us a lot. Let's get this. Ecstasy paralyzer. Light weapon. Light ranged weapon. We have a light melee weapon. 2 damage per effort applied. What's that? A psychic focus? 15% on low mystical. 2 on esoteric attacks, 2 damage. 2 damage per effort applied. Max 16, plus 16 on esoteric attacks. Oh, that's not bad. I mean, it has some... But... if we have an esoteric attack, that will make it a lot stronger. Buy that thing as well. We've got to look at this. We have in our backpack the Cloak of Faces. Pretty good. And the Psychic Focus. Mystical tasks. One training in... We've got the Spirit Shroud, that's only usable by us, but the Even Eyes, not only by us. Offhand artifacts. Use that. What does it give us? That 15% evasion. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good. One perception. Definitely good. Plus 4 damage per effort applied. He's got an impossible blade. 7 damage, plus 3 per effort applied, max plus 12. And we could go for this. Speed, speed, speed. I mean, she cannot hold a weapon, right? Can give her that sword, but... Oh, she can hold a weapon, or what? I thought she cannot. Well, then she's got a healing sword now. Congratulations. Eight and 7. But a two-handed weapon? Indeed it is. We can give the shield to Rin then. I mean, he's much more of a tank and can do good damage, why not? So, a little bit of equipment changes. That's interesting, right?
Yes, now.
And we'll go to little Niliesh. And then look for these thieves.
Naturally.
And we'll do that in the next episode. Thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. See each other then. Have a great time until then and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Khan signing out. See you soon.